Hello, I am torture testing 2018.24.1 that I received just a couple of days ago. And one of the first things that I noticed, no new Easter eggs, but the release notes are weird, that they take a bit to come up. And in fact, when I first got the update, the release notes didn't come up at all. And I called into Tesla and confirmed that the software install was successful. They recommended rebooting the display, which I did, but that didn't help. And it took till the next day for the notes to show up. But I was just going to go through this, the speed limit mode. Now, one thing that I will call out, and I will give great praise to Tesla, is this dedication. This is amazing. For a car manufacturer to do something like this, to dedicate a safety feature to someone who died driving a Model S, is just amazing. And I'm thinking of all the years of cars that caught fire in crashes, Fords in particular. That's just amazing. So kudos to Tesla for doing this. And let's see, there's an autopilot call out here, and this is the change to the call out to, instead of just grab the steering wheel, apply light force, which actually means that you have to put some turning force on the steering wheel. Not just grab the steering wheel for all your life, but you actually have to try to turn the steering wheel a little bit, or put a weight, put your wrist or your arm on the steering wheel on one of the spokes, such that the car senses that there's somebody there. I think there's been some misunderstanding about that. The other notes here, I think, are what we've seen before. So I think that's, as far as these notes go, I think that's about it for this. I do note that the redraw for these is a little slow. And I've got an MCU1 car. Now, one thing that changed, apparently, according to Reddit, that I really don't like, is that they've changed the color pattern in the maps. Supposedly received new maps for the MCU1 cars, and they changed water to a gray instead of blue. Now, the only reason I can think of doing that is that grayscale is a simpler representation than a color, which to me means they've got a space problem, they've got a memory problem, and they're trying to mitigate the memory problem by reducing the fidelity of certain elements in the display. So yeah, I liked it better when water was blue, but now it's gray. So that's just the thing. Okay, so this is going into the S-turn. And 21.9 did this. So I'll try it in 24.1. And the vehicle slowed down. good thing. Kind of wish there wasn't a car in front of me, but boy, it really slowed down there. And okay, made it through just fine. Okay, great. Just realized I've got a policeman behind me. So this part of the test is to look at the on-ramp passing response, and in particular the problem of pulling over into the on-ramp. And here's one right here. Prompt, and it's pulled over just a little bit. So that's still there. It's kind of funny that the system doesn't do this on off-ramps. You know, I don't know if it picks up the lines, like here where the right line is diving off, but then there's a new right line right away. And you don't really see that on the on-ramps. So, prompt. Okay, good. So there's no one here. Prompt. So this is the super problematic on-ramp. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. The vehicle in front of me moved over into that too. Huh. What is it, a Honda? And we're going to move over into this one a little bit. So that remains an issue, that they're apparently putting too much weight on the right lane, or right white line, to define lane control. Prompt. So I'm going to go on to another part of the test. So I have AP on and set for 65 and a following distance of 3. Oh, that's interesting. I just saw something on the max speed indicator, which is a blue circle. I saw the boundary rotate. Prompt. I hadn't seen that before. Maybe I'll try to get a little bit of video of that at some point. But it was just as I was on that transition ramp onto I-5. I don't know if that's supposed to indicate that the speed limit's changing, or the max speed is changing. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Alright, so let's see. This guy's going to sneak in ahead of me and go away. Well, that's a good thing. So this is the classic torture test routine that I've done many, many times, and since 10.4, the system's managed to do it successfully. Down to 49, 48. Went by that just fine. Prompt. Slides over on that on-ramp again. Prompt. Increase my follow distance here. So I just increased it to 6. And what I'm trying to do, it's not exactly cooperating. I want to get that car ahead of me to disappear off the display, and it's not. And we're doing 50 now, so it's a little slow. And so he took the exit, but prompt. So, okay, we passed that. It did dive over into that, but it didn't do very much. Frankly, I was hoping for some more rain. One of the things that I showed in the last video was that when it starts raining and the wipers are off, and I switch on auto, the wipers kind of go nuts for about 5 to 10 seconds at high speed, and then they slow down and then they're normal. It seems crazy, and I want to see if that's been fixed. That might have been fixed based on what I saw a little bit earlier. So let's try the AP on the wrong side of the road test again, same place. First of all, make sure there's no one here. Okay, so there's no one here. So I'm going to go ahead and try it here. Okay, there's AP on the wrong side of the road again, although it's a little confused. Okay, I'm going to get back across here from this hill. Let's see, where is that guy going? Okay, so he's going... Well, here comes somebody. Try it once more. but I think just that one little, let's try it here. Love the way I'm using the turn signal. Oh, there's somebody coming. And yep, it works. It's still that's still a problem. Still a problem.